You know, when you think about the absolute height of fine dining, that one name just pops into your head, right? Michelin. Getting even 1 star can launch a chef's entire career. But 3 stars? That turns a restaurant into a destination, a place people will fly across the world to visit. It's truly the gold standard for perfection on a plate.
Right now, you're probably picturing it. A world of quiet, hushed dining rooms, those crisp white tablecloths, and food that looks more like a work of art. It's all about elegance and incredible taste.
Okay, now let's just slam the brakes on that thought. I want you to picture something totally different. The year is 1900. The roads are just muddy tracks. The few cars that exist are constantly breaking down. You get a flat tire, you're not just late for dinner, you are stranded, maybe for days.
So how in the world do you get from one to the other? What could possibly connect the glamorous world of haute cuisine with the grime and struggle of early road travel? Well, the answer is one of the most incredible and frankly disguised marketing campaigns in history. Let's peel back the layers on this.
To really get this, we've got to forget all about food for a minute. Instead, we need to talk about a business that was on the verge of total failure. This is where we meet André and Edouard Michelin, two brothers in the rubber business who had a huge problem.
So, get this. In the year 1900, this was the number of cars on the road, in all of France. Fewer than 3,000. The Michelin brothers were making these newfangled pneumatic tires for a market that, let's be honest, basically didn't exist. And that put them in this impossible economic loop. Think about it. Because the cars were so terrible and the roads were even worse, nobody wanted to drive very far from home. And if your car is just sitting in the garage, well, the tires aren't wearing out. And if tires aren't wearing out, the Michelin company can't sell any new ones. Their business was literally at a standstill.
I mean, can you even imagine what driving was like back then? It was a nightmare. There were no road signs, maps were a total guessing game, gas stations, forget it. You had to track down a specific pharmacy that might sell you some fuel. If you broke down, you were just on your own. Driving wasn't fun, it was terrifying, and that fear was killing their business.
So the brothers had this brilliant realization. They couldn't just sell a product, tires. They had to sell the entire idea of driving. They needed to create a culture of travel from the ground up. And their solution? It was a little red book.
You see, that first Michelin guide from 1900, it wasn't a food guide at all. It was basically a survival manual for your car. Star ratings? Nope. It had maps, lists of the few mechanics that existed, step-by-step instructions for repairing a tire. It was all about giving a driver the confidence to actually leave their town. And here's the kicker. They printed 35,000 of them and just gave them all away for free. I mean, that's a huge expense, but they knew what they were doing. The real goal was to build a kind of psychological safety net, to make people feel safe enough to go on an adventure, and in the process, wear down some rubber.
So for 2 whole decades, this guide is just a free promotional tool. But then, a chance encounter in a random garage changes absolutely everything. This is where the guide starts its journey to becoming a legend.
The story goes that André Michelin walks into a garage and is just horrified. He sees his guides, his precious guides that he poured so much into, being used to prop up a wobbly workbench. And in that moment, it clicks. People don't value what they get for free. He realized he needed a new strategy.
So, boom, 1920, total pivot. First, they start charging for it, 7 francs. But the real genius move? They yanked all the advertisements, every last one. By giving up that ad money, they were sending a powerful message. We can't be bought. Our recommendations are honest and pure. The guide was no longer just a handy tool. It was becoming an incorruptible authority.
And this is where things go from just clever marketing to like next-level genius. As more and more people started using the guide to find places to eat, the brothers came up with a new system. On the surface, it was about rating food. But under the hood, it was an algorithm built for one thing: to sell tires. Now, the star system didn't just happen overnight. It was a slow burn. In 1926, they introduced a single star. By 1931, you had the 1, 2, and 3-star system we know today. And then, in 1936, they published the official definitions for what each star meant. And those definitions, oh man, they are everything. They're the smoking gun.
All right, let's break it down. 1 star. The official definition is high-quality cooking, worth a stop. But listen to that word, stop. This is a direct instruction to someone who's already driving. It's encouraging you to pull over, to use your car for something fun, not just to get from point A to point B.
Then we get to 2 stars. Excellent cooking, worth a detour. A detour. See what's happening here? They're explicitly telling you to go out of your way, to add miles to your trip. It's a direct command to burn more gas and, yep, wear down more of that Michelin rubber, all for a fantastic meal.
And finally, the Holy Grail. 3 stars. Exceptional cuisine, worth a special journey. That's it. That's the whole game right there. A special journey. The restaurant isn't just a stop along the way. The restaurant is the destination. They are literally commanding you to plan an entire road trip just to go eat.
I mean, just let that sink in. The whole star system was never just about food. It was a gamified set of travel instructions. It was an algorithm designed to get you to drive more, to put as many miles on your car as possible.
And man, did it work. It worked better than they could have possibly dreamed. The guide became so much more than a marketing tool. It became a cultural institution. And the result? We're talking over 30 million copies of the Michelin Guide have been sold around the world. It is the undisputed global authority on fine dining, all thanks to the trust people have in its anonymous inspectors and the sheer power of those little stars.
When you boil it all down, the real genius of the Michelin brothers wasn't in making tires. It was in understanding their customers' biggest problem. The barrier to selling tires wasn't the product. It was an empty map. They had to give people a reason to drive, to fill the world with destinations worth finding.
And that just makes you wonder, right? The Michelin Guide proves that something we see as a high-minded cultural standard can actually have these super practical commercial roots. So what do you think? What other beloved brands or institutions out there might actually be brilliant marketing campaigns hiding in plain sight? I'd love to hear your theories down in the comments.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking with me through this one. If you had fun with this deep dive, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps other people find our stuff. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more explainers just like this. We'll see you in the next one.